Justin Sonnenreich, two-time exit, founder of a mentor motive agency.
Market University.
Market University, yeah. And Market Ads.
Yes.
And if you're an entrepreneur and you want to learn what the secret is to being able to use your network, to being able to build relationships, being able to take something from nothing to something huge, then you're going to want to hear what Justin has to say for you. Today, on the Coach U show, I'm Dennis Yu, and we interview successful entrepreneurs about what makes them tick. We are here in Cologne, Germany. Justin came all the way from DC out here. I flew 11 hours from Las Vegas, and how cool it is to meet you in person and eat some steak at this American steakhouse, even though we're not in America.
Absolutely. I love this restaurant. I feel right at home.
So what do you notice different about entrepreneurship in Germany versus in America?
I think entrepreneurship in Germany is a completely separate thing to American entrepreneurship. First, you have a lot lower growth verticals when it comes to taking an investment. And as well as that, with my travels to Aachen for Startup Week, we noticed a lot of great entrepreneurs working in defense, big drone companies. A lot of aerial defense companies are coming out of Germany. And we're going to see huge hubs, especially in Cologne, pop up for entrepreneurship in the next few years. So I'm very excited about that growth, Dennis.
What else did you learn? You went to an AI summit too.
I did. I was at Startup Week Aachen, where we lectured and spoke about the developments in emerging AI in the fields of cyber security, as well as its implications in every field, especially with the innovations with Fable 5 and a lot of the new AI models. A lot's happening here.
Incredible. Tell everyone, how did we happen to meet?
Absolutely. So about July, I would say,
Yeah.
not too far off. I went on ChatGPT 4.0 and I asked it one simple question: who is the best at paid advertising? And it came up with 5 names, and Dennis Yu was number 1. I then reached out to Dennis through Instagram and I said, "Hey, Dennis, I see that you're number 1. I'd love to learn from you and talk about why you're number 1." So, after that happened, here we are today in Cologne.
Isn't that random? And then while we were eating our ribeye steaks, we happened to pop open the laptop and do a whole analysis on Justin's brand, on how he's scaling across college campuses and being able to do performance marketing by reaching these college-age kids. And it built this whole PDF assembled where his credibility and relationships were. It also noticed that he didn't have his personal brand website, which most of you guys don't. And it went to GoDaddy and it bought it. And as we're speaking right now, it's building out his whole website.
Exactly.
And then it's handing all the control over to him. So then he can manage all of it from his Claude agents.
Dennis's platform is incredible. It's building this website as we speak, as well as allowing me to have further search engine optimization, which is great for when I'm building my profile. I've never even thought about doing something like this, and Dennis was able to do it in, 2 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes,
3
something
minutes,
like that.
something
We literally
like
just
that.
spoke to it while we were eating our steak and Oreo ice cream or whatever it was that we had there. And it's wild because a lot of people, they think AI is a programming kind of thing, but people like Justin, who have this incredible balance of EQ, relationship power, and the IQ to understand the business acumen to figure out the strategy, those are the people who are winning. And so I view what we're doing with AI is amplifying people like Justin. So who are the people who in the real world have the credibility, who are great at building relationships, who are great at scaling teams? Then how do we multiply that? It's like, you're a great singer, and then I bring a 100-watt amplifier. And then more people, the more audience can listen to it. It's not because it's the great amplifier, it's that there's the talent who has the microphone, is the way I see it. And so now that you have these agents that are being shipped over to you, that you can install, that you can talk to for 5 minutes every day, people like you are winning when a lot of young adults that are college age are wondering, what am I going to do? The jobs are not there. I'm mad at the university. I'm mad at society. I'm mad at the government. But they don't realize it's actually what you bring to the table. If you get mad at what the mirror shows you, whose fault is that?
Exactly. And as of right now, college students cannot find job opportunities for entry-level roles in AI. And it's leading a lot of students to go away from the conventional path. We're talking AI apprenticeship. I think that AI apprenticeships will allow students a true opportunity to excel as an entrepreneur. We're focusing more on a market geared towards entrepreneurs and less on a market geared towards being an employee. And as an entrepreneur myself, who just graduated from the University of North Carolina, I have to agree with what Dennis is saying.
You know what's crazy is that we didn't realize this till later, maybe with the help of Claude, but Justin and I actually have a lot of alignment in how we want to help these young adults in this pivotal part of their career be able to grow. And instead of necessarily thinking you need a resume to get a job, if you know how to use these tools, if you can leverage relationships, if you can communicate as well, like listen to this guy, communication skills, right? I'm sure that didn't happen by accident. Then you can create opportunities. And our buddy Harry Gold, we talked to yesterday, who just sold his company for $50-some million, he said it's easier to get a client than a job. And the AI apprentices like you're talking about, like Leo Pullman here, who's recording this right now and is having his AI agents, I can see the screen, is building all these things. He's an example where because of what he's doing, his other friends now can see what is possible. And now these guys are able to travel and have fun and do cool things while they are using, so instead of being entry-level AI as an employee in a company, they are now a whole agency. They have a whole team of non-human employees, right, that are doing work. And now they can go into all these other businesses who are starving. They know they need AI, but they don't know what to do about it. And probably a lot of you guys that are watching, a lot of the stuff comes easy to you with social media and video and ChatGPT and that kind of stuff. And then people that are my age are completely befuddled or maybe even scared, if we're willing to admit, about all this AI change. But we need your help to be able to implement AI in our businesses, to simplify operations and all the different CRMs and the paperwork and bureaucracy and the annoying repetitive sorts of tasks. It's not this glamorous, go to space Elon Musk kind of thing. It's the simple business process improvements that almost every single business needs. So instead of like, I'm trying to apply for a job at the big corporation for some entry-level job, I can work directly with the CEOs of a lot of these companies. And even like local plumbers and insurance brokers and other sorts of local businesses, every one of them will pay easily $2,000 a month for someone to improve their efficiency and see the ROI on that. That's what I see as the huge opportunity. And Justin's creating all of these entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them, that are working with these different brands, being able to be like an extended marketing arm of a channel they never knew they had.
Exactly, Dennis. And we're creating jobs, hundreds of jobs for college students across universities in the United States. It is my mission to create thousands of jobs for the students that are not getting the opportunities they need to succeed. And just like Dennis is building to help with AI apprenticeship programs, we need to have more opportunities available for students to thrive. And when you look at the bureaucratic nature of how a lot of these universities are operating, pushing back on AI in the academia, in the education system, it is not a great idea to push against AI. These universities need to be teaching it in an entrepreneurial capacity and training students on how to do and use their own agents to simplify small tasks. If a student does not understand these basic requisites, how will they succeed on doing this for the companies they work for or for the businesses that they create? It is fundamental to use programs just like Dennis's for this use case.
So tomorrow, we are both leaving Germany. You're flying out at 5 a.m. I'm flying out 5 p.m. I'm going to speak at the global media forum in Azerbaijan, and one of the other speakers there is Dr. Karen Sutherland, who she, as a professor, has a practicum program where students come in and learn AI, but in the way that we teach, they're adopting local businesses and starting agencies while they are getting their degrees. And that's way better than the resume. That's way better than an internship, because they're actually taking AI as they're getting credit and all that and driving real results, documenting all of that, interviewing these clients on the podcast once they've achieved the result, kind of like we're doing a podcast here. And we are seeing that roll across more and more universities. So Justin and I have seen some of these universities we're working with. The presidents of these universities are saying, look, we know we have to have real world experience so these students can get jobs or be able to start their own companies. But I don't even fault the universities. It's easy to say how backwards they are and whatever it is, and like the college kids like to get mad. But what I see is it's actually a gap between the private sector, the education system. So you and I that have a foot in both worlds, because you and I are both on college campuses, but we also understand the world of entrepreneurship. When we can bring both of those sides together, think about the brand relationships that you have or that I have. Now, when we can bring that together in the university, that creates, I view entrepreneurship as is capturing the edges between two areas that intersect. It's like this rug or this harlequin quilt where there's like a seam in the middle, and that's where the opportunity is, because neither side has figured out kind of the gap between two areas, right? An employee is good at like doing one thing, but an entrepreneur is able to look at the seam between two different things like colleges and lead gen, right? Exactly. A lot of people don't know one or the other, but when you know both, then you can be like market with what Justin has, or like what we're doing with building these AI.
Exactly. And it's so simple. And I hope for every college student watching this video, you really take the time to understand the requisites of just trying to get your first client. It's really important to just go on LinkedIn, write a handwritten letter. There's so many things that a lot of people are forgetting about. And something that Dennis and I were discussing earlier today was about all of these AI emails. Really take the time to be thoughtful about how you reply to people.
Yeah.
When you send a message in someone's inbox and it just sounds like AI slop,
you can tell.
You can tell, and they can tell.
Yeah.
So don't do that. And please take the time to do your due diligence, because that will help you get that extra step above all of your competitors doing the same AI slop messages.
You guys have seen all the cold DMs that are on Instagram or LinkedIn. If you accept the request, you just get bombarded. I think we call it a pitch slap, right? But look at how Justin, like for example, when he reached out to me, I get thousands of these random DMs from like, who are these people? You click on them and like, who is that, right? But the reason I responded to his message was because it was actually thoughtful, and you had a real screenshot in there. So I imagine instead of just like blasting out your resume or your DMs to thousands of people, choose a few people that you can say something meaningful, and so it's a quality versus quantity thing. So if you're a college age student and maybe you're at that like chicken and egg scenario where you're trying to get that first client, leverage the connections that you have. Leverage, or even people that are one connection away from you, which is called a second degree weak connection. Someone else can introduce you to that other person. You'd be surprised at how much power you don't even realize you have.
Exactly. And seconding on what Dennis just said, I think it's important for you to have that thoughtfulness in writing a handwritten letter and sending it to their office. Yeah. Nobody does that. Some people do it, but my generation doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think by showing that you care, it'll go a lot farther than you can imagine.
Isn't it so funny? In this world of AI, it's always the un-AI things that matter the most. Like my favorite thing, which we have a company that does this now, is we send socks with people's faces on them.
I heard about that. I saw your LinkedIn post.
Yeah, and you'll be getting one too, so I spoiled the surprise.
Amazing.
But this is how you build real connections, as in like meeting people to have steak in person instead of a Zoom call, right? It's a completely different thing. So I think you guys understand technology. I've never seen an issue with young adults being able to learn how to use the latest tool. That just comes naturally. But if you understand and watch carefully how this guy builds relationships, combining with the advantage that you have, you will be an incredibly powerful. And if there's anything I can do, like you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help. It is not an AI that's replying. It's actually me. I want to see thousands of you guys be able to succeed using tools and AI and technology or robots, whatever it's called, to be able to create value for other businesses, and they are able to pay you a piece of that. Just like with Justin, where all these entrepreneur college kids are creating revenue, generating leads, and being able to make more money because of what they're able to do there using his framework. It's like opening your own Chick-fil-A and the only Chick-fil-A in town, right? That, of course, that's the advantage of being in Market's program.
And when you become an ambassador for a brand, you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, you're a junior in college, you get to learn about sales for a very fundamental standpoint. You are selling to your peer. Part of what Market University does is we set up tables on college campuses with students selling to other students. It's peer-to-peer marketing. So it really gives that foundational layer of sales experience. When I think about how I got my first sales experience, it was really by just delivering cakes. You know, I used to get these cakes and write my logo on them, typically a sheet cake from Publix, of course. And I would walk into their office and say, can I get 15 minutes of whoever the decision maker's time was? And more often than not, I will tell you this, they always say, so it's by caring, you will get more results, and it's relationship building. Don't get caught up on easy sales. Get caught up on the process of building that relationship. Dennis and I are in Cologne together, and we're having this amazing lunch. None of that would have been possible if I did not reach out close to about 6 months.
Yeah, incredible. Return on cake.
Exactly.
What's the ROI of,
one cake a day strategy?
That's right, without the diabetes, the Lipitor or whatever it might be. But if you're a college kid and you want to be an entrepreneur and you're not quite sure what to do, consider the advantage that you have when you're someone like Justin, where you're able to sell to your peers, where someone else has created a framework that has worked across dozens of campuses. That's the beauty of a franchise model. When something's working and you see other people that are like you able to do it at another university, and then you can be the ambassador to another brand at your university, that is awesome without having to pay, like, instead of paying a franchise fee to open your Chick-fil-A, you can join Market University.
Exactly. So I welcome any students listening to this. Come to our website, marketu.com, and become an ambassador. We'd love to have you on our team.
Amen. I love what you're doing, Justin. I want to see more Justins bloom. I think there's a huge opportunity for young adults where the traditional path, as you guys know, isn't really there anymore. But at the same time, it's opened up this incredible opportunity for AI and entrepreneurship, and for those of us to take advantage of the abundance and to be optimistic about the future. Love to hear, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.